Lockheed Martin, Firefly, and Seagate team up to launch satellites from the sea. Lockheed Martin, Seagate Space, and Firefly Aerospace have announced a three-way strategic collaboration to develop sea-based launch capabilities for national security missions, a partnership that brings together a defense prime with decades of missile heritage, an offshore launch platform operator, and a commercial rocket company whose Alpha vehicle has been carving out a role in the responsive launch market. Jonathan Caldwell, Vice President and General Manager of Strategic and Missile Defense Systems for Lockheed Martin Space, announced the collaboration, publicly describing it as an effort to blend Lockheed Martin's legacy in missile defense targets and countermeasures with what he called the innovative spirit of Firefly and Seagate. The three companies will work together on mission application concepts and flight demonstration projects that leverage Seagate's Gateway offshore launch platform. According to Caldwell's announcement, having a capability to address the growing need for speed and flexibility to launch payloads on tactical timelines from diverse locations is key to national security, Caldwell said. The collaboration builds on groundwork already laid between two of the three partners. Seagate Space announced on April 6, 2026 that it had established a memorandum of understanding with Firefly Aerospace covering offshore launch operations. The Lockheed Martin announcement extends that bilateral arrangement into a three-company framework with a defense prime at the table, adding Lockheed Martin changes the character of the collaboration significantly. A two-company MOU between a launch platform operator and a rocket manufacturer is a commercial arrangement. A three-way collaboration that includes the company that builds missile defense systems targets and countermeasures for the U.S. military is a national security program in formation. Seagate's Gateway platform is the physical enabler that makes sea-based launch operationally meaningful rather than theoretically interesting. Offshore launch platforms can position themselves in international waters at latitudes and azimuths that fixed land-based launch sites cannot access, which matters enormously for the orbital mechanics of certain national security payloads. A launch site that can move to the right location for a given mission rather than accepting the orbital constraints imposed by a fixed geographic position gives mission planners flexibility that has real operational value for time-sensitive national security requirements. Combined with Firefly's Alpha rocket, which is designed for rapid integration and launch on compressed timelines, the platform offers something the traditional launch industry has struggled to provide: the ability to get a payload to a specific orbit from a flexible location on a tactically relevant schedule. Firefly's Alpha is a two-stage liquid-fueled small launch vehicle that has been developing its operational track record since its first successful orbit in 2022. The rocket is designed for the small satellite market payloads in the range of roughly 1,000 kilograms to low Earth orbit, which maps directly onto the kind of tactical and national security payloads that military planners increasingly want to put on orbit quickly in response to events rather than on multi-year procurement timelines. Responsive launch, the ability to get a satellite from integration to orbit in days or weeks rather than months or years, has been a stated priority for U.S. national security space planners for over a decade, and the gap between that stated priority and available operational capability has been a persistent frustration. Sea-based launch from a mobile platform with a responsive vehicle is one of the more credible architectures for actually closing that gap. Lockheed Martin's specific contribution to the collaboration draws on its missile defense and targets portfolio programs that involve precisely the kind of rapid launch trajectory-specific expertise that translates naturally into sea-based launch operations. The company has built and launched target missiles for missile defense testing programs for decades, work that requires the same kind of flexible positioning, rapid integration, and trajectory precision that a sea-based national security launch capability demands. That heritage gives Lockheed Martin something more concrete to bring to this collaboration than brand name and contracting relationships. It brings operational experience with exactly the technical problem the partnership is trying to solve. Sea-based launch for national security isn't a new idea. The U.S. military has launched missiles from ships and submarines for generations, and commercial sea launch ventures have come and gone since the late 1990s. What's different now is the combination of small satellite proliferation, the demonstrated responsiveness of new commercial launch vehicles like Alpha, and the growing recognition in national security circles that orbital infrastructure needs to be as resilient and geographically flexible as the ground-based systems it supports. Lockheed Martin, Seagate, and Firefly are betting that the moment for sea-based tactical launch has finally arrived.